There is nothing quite as chaotic as a game of telephone. Like, one person whispers, "I like your shoes," and by the time it gets around the circle...
Somebody is absolutely convinced you said, like, "I'm stealing your clues."
Right, exactly. It's a complete breakdown of communication.
Yeah, the original structure just collapses, the exact words vanish, and suddenly the entire meaning completely shifts.
Which actually brings us to your mission today. Because if you were tackling Unit 7 of your grade 11 Get Involved English textbook, Time Flies, we are going to build the ultimate cheat code for it.
We really are. We're extracting the key vocabulary, so reporting verbs and time idioms, and breaking down exactly how to apply them to ace your exam.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So before we even touch the flashy vocabulary, you really need to nail the structural mechanics of how we report what others say. Because it's not just repeating words, right?
No, yeah, it's fitting them into specific grammatical molds. The textbook lays out 3 strict patterns for reporting verbs, which are kind of like, think of them like strict VIP club dress codes.
I like that. So first you've got the verb plus to structure.
Right, for verbs like promise, refuse, or offer. You wouldn't say like, she offered that to help. It's just, she offered to help.
Exactly. And then you have the verb plus object plus to pattern. This is for verbs like ask, tell, and invite.
Yeah, I like to think of verbs like invite or tell as a bridge. Like a bridge can't just end in midair, right? It needs a pillar to rest on before continuing.
Oh, and the object is the pillar, like the person you're actually talking to.
Yes. You can't just say, he invited to the party. The sentence literally collapses without the person standing in the middle to hold it up. Like, he invited me to the party.
That is a great way to visualize it. And finally, you have the verb plus that pattern for words like explain, suggest, complain, or deny. Like he denied that he ate the last slice.
Right. You can't just shove an object right after explain without completely breaking the rule, like wearing sneakers to that black tie event.
Exactly. And then, well, there are reported questions.
Oh, man, this is where everyone loses points, right?
They really do. And what's fascinating here is why people lose points. When you report a question, the auxiliary verbs, so those little helper words like do, does, or did, they completely disappear.
Wait, completely?
Yes, completely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it actually makes perfect sense. Think about it. When you report a question, you aren't actually asking a question anymore.
Oh, right. You are just stating a fact about something that was asked in the past.
Exactly. Since it's a statement of fact now, the question helper words are totally useless. So, where do you live simply becomes, he asked where I lived. The word order just reverts to a standard affirmative sentence.
Wow, okay, so mastering those verb patterns basically gets you past the grammar check.
Right.
But if you only use mechanically perfect reported speech, you sort of sound like a robot.
You do, yeah. And how do we prove to the examiner that we actually sound like native speakers? That is where the time idioms from Unit 7 come in.
Phrases like, time flies when you're having fun.
Or, you can't turn back the clock. Or even, there's no time like the present.
Okay, let me push back here for a second. If I am taking a high-pressure language exam, why on earth would I risk using an idiom?
What do you mean?
Well, if you take them literally, they are completely bizarre. Like, time doesn't actually sprout wings and fly. If I mess up the phrasing of turn back the clock, the examiner might have no idea what I mean. Isn't it just safer to speak plainly and correctly?
Well, it's a totally valid fear, but playing it safe is how you get an average score.
Really? Just average?
Yeah, speaking plainly gets the job done, sure. But using an idiom demonstrates the advanced fluency that evaluators actively reward. It proves you understand the real culture of the language, not just, the dictionary definitions.
Which brings us to the actual Band 5 evaluation rubric. When you are staring down the blank page on test day, your brain's first instinct is going to be to play it safe.
Right, but you have to fight that instinct. The rubric isn't looking for safe. It explicitly demands a wide range of vocabulary.
Exactly. Slipping time flies into your answer might feel risky, but to the grader, it is the exact key word they are scanning for.
Furthermore, you need no or very few mistakes in your reported speech. Those bridge and pillar rules for reporting verbs we talked about, they have to be airtight.
So what does this all mean for your final test prep?
It basically means you have to actively deploy the unit's vocabulary to conquer the test itself. Show the examiner you know how to manage your time effectively so you don't run out of time.
I love that. It's the ultimate combination. Flawlessly structured reported speech to satisfy the grammar police, paired with natural-sounding time idioms to show off your mastery.
Structure meets style. It's perfectly aligned with what the rubric actually demands.
Time will tell if you get a perfect score. But since you can't turn back the clock after the exam, ask yourself right now, which of these time idioms best describes your current study habits?